Well, good evening, everyone. This is Alex Mondosian, and I want to welcome you to the 11 Forgotten Laws. Anyway, what are the forgotten laws, and why do you call them forgotten?
Well, they're forgotten because we're really not trained to understand them, Alex. I'll give you an example. There's a law of non-resistance. You say, what the heck is that? The law of non-resistance. Well, let's think. Whatever you resist persists. And it's a strange thing. If there's resistance, we have a tendency to fight it. It's part of our animalistic nature, fight or flight. It's react. Now, the professionals do not resist. There's non-resistance. They let the resistance go. They don't let it bother them because they understand this law and they can see that it's a force that's working against them, but it only works against them as long as they give it energy. And
we're talking about the law of thinking, the law of supply, the law of attraction, of course, the law of receiving, the law of increase, the law of compensation, the law of non-resistance, which you heard Bob briefly talk about, the law of forgiveness, the law of obedience and sacrifice and success. How will these laws benefit our listeners, the 250 who take action now? How will they benefit? And then give us a few stories.
Well, let me give you one example, and it's a good example because he's a good friend of yours, John Asraf. You know, I'm going to read you something John wrote. He said, when I met Bob Proctor, I was 20 years old, flat broke, heading in the wrong direction in life. In addition, I had no idea how I was going to build a life for myself, and that would have meaning and purpose. Well, he said, it's been 27 years since I first attended Bob's program, started to study. What he taught me and continues to teach me over the years has allowed me to make millions of dollars and live a very fulfilling life. Now, John's featured on The Secret. He's got books on the New York Times bestseller list. When I met John, he lived in a suburb of Toronto here. He was a young guy that was out selling real estate, trying to find leads, trying to sell a house, and wasn't doing well. As he started to see how these laws worked and started to put them into work in his life and then continued to over the years, he skyrocketed ahead. He owns a big part or a good part of a very big real estate company that he doesn't even work at anymore. It's a passive income he's got. I saw him earn up to $18 million on one project that he was involved in. John has put these laws to work. He's put them to work in the law of attraction on The Secret, where he talks about his mind map. In the law of forgiveness. The law of forgiveness is letting go. We've got to let go of what we don't want, Alex, to make room for what we do want. Begins to listen to this. It's through repetition over and over and over again. You see, if you could imagine the sound of my voice like right now. Now, as I'm talking, an idea is going to hit your consciousness, and you're going to take off on a thought trip. You're going to hear what I'm saying, but you're not listening to me because you're thinking about something. You're thinking, darn, that's right. That's the way that happened. And then you stop thinking, and you come back and you start listening again. Now, what went on between when that idea that I explained hit your mind and you went off on a thought trip and you come back and start to listen again? I gave you some phenomenal information, but you didn't get it. You heard it, but you weren't listening. You see, we hear with our ears, we listen with our emotions. And it's through repetition of us getting emotionally involved with these various laws that make the difference in our life. Well, there's a basic law of life, Alex. It's create or disintegrate. You're either going ahead or you're going backwards. if you are not doing something that's intelligent and lawful to move ahead, odds are you're going backwards.